Speaking of which, Hillary Clinton would be very tight with MBS if she was president, no doubt. And let's just reset it. Throw me a quick bad package. Now, as we all know, Bernie Sanders...
It looks like it could be something that will be not good. Believe me, not good. No good, really bad for you.
Now, as we all know, Bernie Sanders had the absolute temerity to run for president in 2016, barely criticize Hillary Clinton and talk about issues that were central to his heart and career that the Clintons opposed for most of theirs. And so now, of course, after apparently feeling no embarrassment, after through a combination of many factors, but including certainly her own immense arrogance, incompetence, and record, losing to Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton really has it in for Bernie Sanders. This is what she said earlier in an interview that was released just today as we're recording this, actually. He was in Congress for years, had one senator support him. Nobody likes him. Nobody wants to work with him. He got nothing done, Hillary says in a new Hulu film about her. Who would want to watch this is beyond me.
A new Crackle documentary on Jeffrey Epstein's life.
Yeah, I was going to say, unless Ghislaine Maxwell is in there, I don't want to see it.
That's on Lifetime.
He was a career politician. It's all just baloney, and I feel so bad that people got sucked into it. That is Hillary Clinton. Now, Bernie Sanders, who is literally like Gandhi of the Borscht Belt with these people, had this response.
Secretary Clinton, as you know, said that as a senator you got nothing done and that no one likes you. What's your response to that?
Well, on a good day, my wife likes me, so let's clear the air on that one. Right now, today, I am dealing with impeachment.
But Senator, Secretary Clinton said was about your supporters and criticizing them.
Look. Secretary Clinton is entitled to, her point of view. My job today is to focus on the impeachment trial. My job today is to put together a team that can defeat the most dangerous president in the history of the United States of America.
Now, of course, Bernie's keeping it classy, as Matt pointed out earlier. One place that Hillary is right about, no doubt, Bernie had a very low approval rating on Little St. James, Jeffrey Epstein's private island. That's a totally fair point.
All the famous pedophiles hate
Yeah, all famous pedophiles and Democratic bundlers.
And ephebophiles, too.
Yes, yeah. They all hate Bernie Sanders. Hillary Clinton, of course, after she faced a big backlash to this today, she probably helped another mega fundraising day for Bernie Sanders. And in fact,
she's doing him right now.
Yeah. So she and I don't know if we have this up in front of us, but as I keep wanting to remind people, Donald Trump is quite unpopular. Don't be fooled. He's an unpopular and definitely beatable president. One of the only people in American public life who is less popular than Donald Trump is Hillary Clinton. And of course, Bernie Sanders is exceptionally popular for politician. But I think it's very clear that Hillary Clinton literally does mean not popular with millionaires and billionaires who are like the only actual human beings that I'm referencing. So who cares if he's enormously popular with non-wealthy people? They aren't real to me. He who does not feel me is not real to me, or he who does not have an island for me is not real to me, or U2 tickets in the skybox is not real to me, or as many things that Hillary Clinton might say. Peter Dow got in on this.
Brought Verrett back.
Brought a massive career humiliation back just to dunk on Hillary Clinton.
Look at the Verrett authentication code there. It says 2020.
Wow. Hashtag I like Hillary. I like Bernie.
Dow has become self-aware.
People get mad at
Dow has become self-aware. I have no problem with Peter Dow. I'm a forgiver.
I mean, honestly, the first rat off a sinking ship gets to come aboard. You know,
absolutely.
In this,
absolutely.
And unlike
I love Peter Dow, man. Nothing but love.
Unlike other grifters, he can play the ball. He can play game. he has game. He can bring it.
And honestly, I wouldn't even consider him. I actually think he is it sounds contradictory, but I think he is absolutely a true believer. I think what he believes in and his passions change. And I don't even mean that with snark. So I think that when he was riding for Hillary in a totally embarrassing, over-the-top way, as pretty much all. I mean, imagine being a Hillary fan in 2020. That sounds pretty embarrassing. But I think he believes it. Okay, here's Hillary Clinton, Brandon. She got a big blowback today because in the other salient part of this interview is that she also would not commit to supporting Bernie Sanders. I just want to say, if Bernie Sanders is the nominee, number one, pray to God Hillary Clinton is not campaigning for him anywhere relevant. We would need to absolutely keep her out of electorally pivotal states. And secondly, I totally think she would spoil her ballot or write somebody in. I mean, going back to the Howard Stern interview, she's got more agita with Bernie Sanders than Donald Trump. She does. And here is Hillary Clinton, of course. Now we're back into victim mode. I thought everyone wanted my authentic, unvarnished view.
I've never said that.
Yeah, why would you?
Yeah, I don't. I don't want any of your views. I want you to just please leave. Yeah. In fact, if there was some type of grand bargain that involved, like, you know, Republicans get Hillary Clinton in exile in exchange for health care, I would be very interested.
A draft?
Yeah. But to be serious, the number one priority from our country and the world is retiring Trump. And as I always have, I will do whatever I can to support our nominee, which would, I guess, definitely be like not campaigning for the nominee. Thoughts?
Well, I mean, I think it speaks to what we were saying earlier. It's like she definitely dislikes Bernie Sanders more than she dislikes Donald Trump. I think that goes without saying. Her hatred of Bernie Sanders is quite deep, and it reflects the hatred, I think, of that center class that, as I defined it, that she is kind of the patron saint of. Yeah. And so far as that, like, Bernie Sanders, even though, you know, he's not the furthest left you can be, obviously, because there is no bottom there. But you know, he's far enough left in the Democratic Party and outside of the party, obviously, to be a threat to like what they consider to be their, you know, to borrow some words I've learned from you, for their brand viability. And, you know, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, said, you know, a few days ago, you know, we don't have a left party in this country.
Oh, that's going to be our last. We got that. We'll do that in a second.
Okay, but then I'll just say this, you know, and so like it speaks volumes to our problem where we have a center left party and a far right party, and the center left party, you know, primary goal right now, and they say the primary goal is to defeat Donald Trump. That's not true. Absolutely not true. It's maybe true in certain factions. The ring surrounding that center core of elites might believe it to be true, but it is not true. Their primary goal is to prevent Bernie Sanders from getting in there and moving the country, if not the party itself, to the left and making the particular position of the Democratic Party completely unsustainable anymore. And I think that's like that right there is like why do Democrats love, you know, hate socialists more than they hate fascists? Well, because you can point to a racist and laugh and say like, look how much better I am than, but you can't point to somebody who's to your left and say, oh, you believe in racism too? Well, how about we do some structural change? You're like, whoa, because that reveals the grift for what it is.
What a bunch of baloney.
Yeah, I mean, and really, in many ways, Bernie Sanders is just revealing the grift for what it is. You don't need billionaires to raise money. He's raised the most money of any candidate, except for like probably Bloomberg, who's funding himself. You know, you don't need to go on, you know, like essentially bullshit with MSNBC or New York Times to be popular. You can do all of this just by appealing to the people, but they don't like those people. Like they don't like that.
Right,
you know,
they don't want to appeal to them.
They don't want to appeal to people. They don't want to offer them anything that might materially improve their lives. They want to keep offering like this new language of social justice that they've honed and mastered. And, you know, Bernie comes and he says, you know what? And I would even say this is why I would loop like Yang into it. This is probably why Yang did better than Kamala Harris.
Absolutely.
Because like he's, you know, like the idea of like, where, you know, I want to tell you a vague.
He spoke about some actual things.
Yes. I want to tell you a vague personal narrative about my life to distract you from like policy. You know, Yang loves his vague personal narratives too, but they come from a place of you can tell meaning. But also he's like, I'm going to give you $1,000 to handle your problems.
Yep.
It's just like
absolutely.
Yang's prescription for the problem is wrong and reductive, but he has a real prescription theoretically that people resonate with because like, okay, well, I don't know what I can do with like whatever Hillary Clinton is talking about with intersectionality, but I know what I can do with $1,000 right now with my life. Absolutely. You know, I know what I can do with that. And it's not to say like, you know, the language of social justice is not important. It's just being improperly used by the Democratic Party.
I mean, Or, you know, it's important in a negative way when it's used to actually try to detonate real actual things.
Well, language is a tool, and so you can use it to, you know, communicate that you have earnest intent to improve the lives of marginalized people, no matter how you communicate that, whether it be, you know, the language of third wave feminism or just the language of like I think we should give everyone $1,000 to pay their bills, or you can use it to obscure the fact that you have no real intention to help people.
Absolutely.
You can do a little bit of a sleight ahead. You can say, yeah, I've acknowledged all of these problems, but I have no intention of solving them. And that's part of the neoliberal project. The part, like a big part of it is the separation of policy from politics. You know, here's how we talk about problems on one hand. Here's our ability to solve problems, and never the two should meet.
Exactly. You just watched a Michael Brooks show video. Subscribe to get them all. Why wouldn't you? Don't be foolish. Click subscribe below and become a patron as well. Patreon.com/TMBS. Thanks, everybody.